Hello, awesome people. I hope your day's going well today. Today we're taking a look at the Fletcher Pratt and Sprague de Camp novella called The Roaring Trumpet, which I have a copy of in this collection called The Complete Enchanter, which you can tell from this label here. I picked up at a recent book sale over at State College. They had more than 150,000 people there. I was there visiting my aunt and uncle. I picked up 7 books from that book sale that they were having there for local charities. So I was visiting some family and figured out, hey, let's go swing by this bookstore. It was like really intense. There were tons of people there. I had to wait in line for like an hour just in order to get in. It was a lot of fun. And I picked up, like I said, 7 things from it. So we're doing a deep dive into some of these things. We just finished Planet of the Damned. And now we're moving to this. This has 3 stories in it. And The Roaring Trumpet is a novella. In this, it's about 115 pages long. And it took me about 4 hours for me to read it over the course of about 3 days. It was. I've read novels that were less length in pages and less length in time. So calling it a novella, it's a year mileage may vary sort of thing. I'll link you to this collection of these 3 things below. This was printed in the May 1940 magazine in the pulp era called Unknown, and this is a republication in the 70s with the first 3 stories in the Harold Shea series. Now, this is these memoir reviews are spoiler free. I wanted to do a deep dive into these writers because they both appear on Appendix and as co-writers, as heavily influential on Gary Gygax's early days of Dungeons & Dragons. His Appendix N appeared in the first edition of this Dungeon Master's Guide in the first edition of Dungeons & Dragons in 1979, where he basically said, these are the places that I got my influences from, and these are the places to go to for your own sort of exploration and inspiration. So it's not just a reference list, but it's also a place for you to go to for inspiration. So I wanted to review a few things. I read a novel by these 2 called Tower of Zenith a long time ago when I was on a trip going to an airport. It was pretty quick too, which I have not reviewed for this channel because I haven't read it in a while, and I don't really remember it that well. This novella, though, is pretty good. A place to kind of kick off reading them again and doing a deeper dive into them. This 1940 novel. Again, this is spoiler free, but again, the basic core concept is that our main character, named Harold Shea, lives contemporaneously in our world, and using symbolic logic and the powers of math, he goes to Asgard. He tries to go to Irish mythology because he knows a lot about, did some research in it, and thought he would be ready for the Irish mythology. But instead, he goes to Asgard right before Ragnarok, and that's going to be a key thing. He's going to be frumping around Asgard for a while. I'm helping them out and getting in some troubles. And that's it. He's going to be journeying with Loki and Thor, Frey, and Heimdall, and that sort of a thing, and running around and helping out people. And it's a lot of fun. Again, it's pretty short, about 4 hours long, 115 pages long in this collection, which I'll link to you in the comments below. I'm giving it like an 8 minus, like a 7.8 or a 7.7, and rounding it up to an 8. It's definitely a stronger story. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. Not a lot of things happen in this in terms of the action side of things. There's a lot of great world building in it and so forth, but it definitely feels a little slower paced at times, which is where I'm taking off a couple of points from it. So that there you are. I think you probably could have cut 20 or 30 pages and it would have been a lot faster paced as a novella. But there you are. Again, giving us an 8 minus or 7 plus, if you will, out of 10. Proper. Now, there are some influences that I see in Dungeons & Dragons, since that's the reason why I'm reading them, because of that influence. For example, the giants in here are exactly the same side of style, description, personality, power levels, and so forth as giants in Dungeons & Dragons. Specifically, the hill giants, frost giants, and fire giants. Also, their descriptions of trolls seem to be much more similar, less Scandinavian, much more similar to Dungeons & Dragons trolls. So I would not be surprised if this series influenced some of the creatures and concepts in Dungeons & Dragons, specifically the types of giants that they're encountering. And so there you are. I'll leave you to it. Have you read the Harold Shea stuff, the first story, The Roaring Trumpet? I would be more than happy to talk with you about it further in the comments below, whatever your thoughts are, whatever your take is, and so forth. If you enjoyed this, hey, why not hit that subscribe button, because there's going to be a lot more of these to follow. And then finally, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my video. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.